Today, I just want to remind everybody of how important it is to advocate for yourself when it comes to your health care. And specifically, I'm talking about mental health care. So, I've been getting my medications, my psych medications from a provider for several years that I have really disliked. And um, I just because it's so hard to get an appointment with another provider, I just didn't pursue that. But the last couple of appointments I had with that provider, I expressed, like I'm having more anxiety lately, and I have some things going on in my life, and I also work in a stressful environment at times. Like I work on an inpatient unit at a hospital, a psychiatric hospital, so it can be stressful. And she was like, she knows about my gluten sensitivity. And she was like, well, why don't you cut out gluten to address the anxiety? And I was like, she said this to me twice at two different appointments. And I said, I've cut out gluten for 3 years. So given that this happened at my last two appointments, and honestly, because I used to have substance use issues, that's not a problem for me anymore, but because I used to have those issues, I feel like she was treating me like I was a med seeker. And I'm not even on serious anxiety medications. I actually told a nurse that I worked with, what I'm on. And she's like, really? She wouldn't up that dosage? That's so weird. It's not even, I'm not on Klonopin or anything. Or anything else that's really addictive. So I was like, I've had it. This lady doesn't listen to me. She's got to go. So I got a provider. I got an appointment with a new provider, and I met with him today, and we did the whole assessment thing, and he's amazing. He's amazing so far. He noticed, because I have bipolar disorder, and I said, this is how often my moods fluctuate. And he's like, that's kind of that's a lot of fluctuation. So maybe we can make an adjustment so it's, doesn't fluctuate as much. And I can't tell you how relieved and excited I am. Another thing about this former med provider that I saw, this last one, she wasn't as bad, but she just wasn't very smart and thinks gluten has something to do with anxiety. It's fucking weird. But the provider I had at that same practice before that, when I expressed very passive suicidal ideation when I was having a stressful day, this was back in 2016, I was sectioned and the cops came. And I hadn't even raised my voice, or there wasn't anything potentially violent going on. I was just sad that day and stressed. And so ever since that's happened, I've really, had bad feelings about that place, but I just felt like I couldn't leave because I was like, well, I'm going to have to wait months to, find somebody else. And I did wait a few months to get in with this place, not as long as I thought, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it. I feel like this person listens. I feel safer talking with them. When that thing happened with the police showing up, I was like, well, I guess I can never tell my med provider again that I'm even, thinking about suicide, which could have put me at risk. And I'm actually talking about that on a panel next week for work about how the police showing up to my, when I was having suicidal ideation, what effect that had on me. So anyways, I know I talk a lot, but just please advocate for yourself. Advocate for yourself. Be a pain in the ass if you need to. I'm the best at that. So's the rest of my family. So it's really worth it. It's worth it to get in with a provider, a healthcare provider, no matter what you're dealing with, a healthcare provider that will listen to you and cares.